like that.
I wasn't aware of how long of a thematic intro that was, to be honest. I
That was
haven't.
beautiful.
It was very,
Strong minute right there.
it was a long minute. It's very Phil Collins.
I feel like I'm about to watch like a inspirational like talk or something.
A movie from 2003.
Yeah.
What's up,
Come on,
everybody? Welcome to
back.
Ricker and Bond. I'm sorry, we're just talking over each other. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Ricker and Bond. Free-flowing, in-depth conversation about whatever's appropriate at the time. We got a very, very, very special episode today. We have restaurateur David Rodolitz of the NFT. What's the word I want to use? Just
NFT,
paving the way
beautiful.
for this NFT business.
Private dining club with NFTs.
Yeah, definitely a pioneer in the space. Such a pleasure to have someone like you on the show.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
CEO and founder of VCR Group. Been
Oh.
in restaurants for 20 years now, yeah?
20 plus years, that's right, in the hospitality industry.
All in New York City or what?
All in New York City primarily.
Right on. How did you start out? You said you started off with event building?
Event planning. I mean, I've been entrepreneurial my whole life, pizza delivery guy, working at the local bowling alley when I was 13, just kind of always liked finding that way of, putting in time and effort into something and getting, a reward or compensation. I just like that interaction or relationship. And I was working from a young age. And when I went to college, I started an event planning company at the University of Maryland and just planned a lot of different events and parties for the Greek life of University of Maryland and built a good business there doing it. And just continue to do that throughout college and then throughout the summers in New York City. And, the people that we knew all started to grow up and get a little bit older in New York and worked for different companies and started to reach out for different, corporate events, social events. And we built this event planning company called Impulse Productions that's been around since 2002. Has some serious clients, Fortune 100 companies, Fortune 500 companies. I don't operate it day to day anymore, but Impulse was, my first main business. And then, that kind of segued into nightlife, marketing, promotions, owning and operating lounges, nightclubs, and bars, just because I was very in tune with, venues and vendors and operating in the New York, Manhattan marketplace. And then late 20s, just felt like, that kind of hit a wall and wasn't a sustainable business to, continue to do as I approached my 30s and tried to have a more sustainable long-term career and have hopefully a strong and healthy, marriage. Just felt like nightlife wasn't the best course for that. And at a similar time, met a very decorated chef named Alex Stupak, who was looking to do his first solo restaurant. And we had a mutual friend that was looking to, get behind that and invest in that. And we formed Empayon Group. And I co-founded and operated that for about 8.5 years. And, we have 5 stores, a couple under construction now. And I stepped away from the day-to-day a few years ago. And now I'm working on a bunch of other stuff and have a couple amazing partners, Gary Vaynerchuk, Josh Capon, who's a very decorated chef, and then another decorated chef named Connor Hanlon. So we formed VCR Group, which is essentially just a modern day hospitality company that looks to leverage media and technology in all facets of the food and beverage industry. And we formed that early last year, and it's been off to the races ever since with a couple different projects and Flyfish Club, and that's where we are now.
So how are you approaching the hospitality industry with VCR different than how it's kind of usually done? You said, I think your slogan on there is kind of integrated.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
technology with old.
It's a beautiful industry, but it's a very challenging industry. It's very difficult to make money. And most people in the space work really hard for a long amount of time. And unfortunately, there's not usually a financial, waterfall or reward at the end of all those years. So
Why is that?
I think the model is just broken and there hasn't been a correction in it. Occupancy generally is very high, at least in the New York marketplace. Rents are very high. Real estate's very costly. Labor continues to go up. Minimum wage continues to go up. Even this is before COVID. Now with COVID, supply chain issues, inflation, the cost of everything is rising, which is making all of your other operating costs and miscellaneous operating costs are now going through the roof as well, which makes it even more challenging. But before COVID, it was a very difficult model, before that, with being happy if you'd be able to squeeze out 10 to 15% or EBITDA. So we were looking at that, and the formation of VCR Group with Gary, who's always been a close friend of mine, and he's invested in a few of my projects before, but we never had a business partnership together. He always just supported me, but never on an actual, we were going to build this thing together. And the premise was, he's in our vision, he's the best in all things marketing, branding, technology. He's on the forefront of all of that. And myself and Josh and Connor are hospitality experts and operators and very charismatic and really enjoy, creating social experiences. And we felt like you marry those two things together with someone that is a serial entrepreneur and someone that really understands, consumer behavior and how to leverage technology and what to do with media and social media. And he's been on the forefront of that for the last, decade or two, creates, we believe, a modern day hospitality company that has an advantage that is not just trading, food and beverage, but, food and beverage is obviously what people are going to enjoy and use. And that's a commodity that gets everybody to rally around us. But there'll always be something else that's taking place that allows us to hopefully monetize and find other ways to extract value for ourselves, our partners, and everybody that's a part of our system. So, Flyfish Club was the first use case of it. It's gone tremendously well thus far. In March, Gary came over my house and got very excited about NFTs and decided he was going to become the trailblazer of NFTs. And, I started writing out different ways that we could leverage this technology. When you think about what it is, it authenticates ownership in a seamless, very quick way. And it also allows you to sell or transfer ownership in a very efficient, seamless way. So when you just think about that technology is remarkable. It's not about, for us, it's not about a digital collectible or, some of these things that people are getting a little confused about, or, I don't understand NFTs, or why is this, pixelated picture worth $1 million? To us, we're not debating that or talking about that. We're leveraging the technology of NFTs to authenticate ownership, to amplify in real life experiences and a dining club that is very much a real life thing. So leveraging technology to find a new way to monetize around the food and beverage industry. And that's allowed us to take a challenging business model, which is, work really hard, hopefully generate enough sales that is going to exceed your restaurant expenses. And best case, you make 10, 15%. And most of the time that doesn't happen. That leveraging NFTs has allowed us to create various levers to now financially monetize. Mm-hmm. So there's upfront sales, which was issuing the NFTs and minting them. Then there's the ongoing royalties through the smart contract that is created by NFTs. And then there's restaurant EBITDA. So 3 different abilities to generate revenue if your project is thoughtful and makes sense and you have a real plan and you're delivering value. And we believe that that's going to allow us to be more hospitable and less transactional, because we have a little bit of a different advantage, because we're not just relying on restaurant EBITDA anymore. So we could do certain things, take on spaces that might have a little bit more rent, pay people maybe more money or what they actually deserve rather than what we would like to pay them, but we just can't afford it. There's certain things that we now, give us a little bit more of an arsenal or toolbox to hopefully come out and swing big. So we came out with Flyfish Club a couple months ago. It was a tremendous, launch. And
so
now
if people don't know what Flyfish Club is, I know you kind of just went into the super nitty gritty of it, but it's a private dining club with an NFT as the membership ownership.
That's right. It's a membership dining club where your membership is purchased on the blockchain through an NFT, a non-fungible token. The big difference in our project is that you own your membership. In typical traditional members models, Soho House, Country Club, Casa Cipriani, Zero Bond, name it. These are wonderful places, but you're essentially just renting a social experience. They create an environment, you pay, they vet you. Every year you go there, you have food and beverage minimums, you have potentially an initiation fee, and then every year you have to run that back and do it again. In our case, there's no application process. You buy this membership, but you actually own this membership. The NFT authenticates the ownership, converting essentially just an expense or a debt into an asset. You own it, do what you want with it, enjoy the club, which is what the intent of why we created this is all about utility. Flyfish Club, the entire backbone of it is utility. We hope everyone is going to use their tokens and be at this place. If not, the value of the project will be diminished. But if you're traveling or if you moved out of town and you don't want it anymore, you could sell it, you could lease it, you could do what you want with it because you own this thing. Every year there's not a reoccurring fee. So it's just a complete transformation of something that has been around for generations. And we believe it's, a lot of people are going to probably start to follow suit and try to do things in a similar fashion. But it's a dining club. It's a members dining club with celebrated chefs that are very good at their craft with a group of operators from the New York area that are very charismatic, love social experiences, and are going to create what we believe will be the best dining club, but with an innovative model, financial model that aligns us with our token holders. So everybody's a part of it. We're creating a system and got an active Discord, and we're doing a ton of in real life events. And, I've been involved in a lot of different venues and products and brands for the last 25 years. And I could say that in 4 months of Flyfish Club, we've built more of a community and more of a brand than anything else I've ever been a part of, by leveraging technology and just this excitement around, crypto, NFTs, people that are, interested in learning, people that are, rallying around the space, people that are in Discord. We launched a merchandising page to our website yesterday, and we sold out of almost everything that we made these custom kicks with this really, awesome artist named Liv, these Nike awesome shoes, that cost almost $500 a pair, these really cool hoodies, some hats, and we almost sold out of everything.
All the membership tokens are sold out right now, yeah?
So what we did was we released about 1,500 on the minting. The minting, for people that don't know, is essentially the process of converting a digital file into a digital asset. That's basically issuing the NFT. So when we did that, that was early January, we sold about 1,500 tokens, which sold out in about a minute. And we held back about 1,500 tokens, because as much as we're preaching that we want people to use our club, we don't know where everybody lives. We don't know if their intent matches our intent.
Yeah.
And for some people that are, into just NFT buying or flipping or speculative investments, which we're not preaching around, we needed a hedge against that.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a similar amount that we have in our wallets that we control. And every day from 3 months ago until the opening or post-opening of Flyfish Club, we're single-handedly selling 1 token, 2 tokens a day to the right people that are in this area that we believe are value add, that are fun, that are creative, and that are going to make this place the best place that people are going to want to be at. So we're going to create the environment, we're going to create the experience and make sure that there's a collaborative environment of people that you want to be around that all add different things to the mix, whether that's, philanthropists, artists, creators, entrepreneurs, athletes, musicians, all of the above. We are going to make sure that, this place has a vibe and has a beat and also is busy, because if people don't use their token, then the third lever that we have, the restaurant, making sure the restaurant, is a good business. If people aren't there, it won't be a good business, and that just devalues the entire system. Mm-hmm. So that's how we're thinking about it.
Will your members be able to do other things like host events there, or?
Yeah, so our members, we're going to have a private dining room and our members will be able to use it. Right now, the way we're thinking about it is, you won't be able to take over the entire space for a night, because that really offsets the benefits to the rest of the community. But there's a lot of built-in utility and things we're doing for our members that is more than just, this restaurant. We produced 2 large-scale in real life events already in the first 100 days. In Miami, we rented out a yacht and took, 60 token holders on an amazing day with epic food and, just a really fun, very thoughtful day of different experiences. We rented out one of the best restaurants in Miami that night and opened it up for 150 token holders, and did a really cool event at a place called Machialina. In 2 weeks, we're going to be in Minneapolis during Gary's conference called VCon. We're popping up there, doing an event for a couple hundred token holders. During the summer, we're doing a pop-up in the Hamptons. So we have a lot of in real life events. And then in between those in real life events, we have virtual and digital events. Every month we do a cooking event where Chef Capon and Chef Connor will teach our members how to cook, break it down into very simple steps. We'll send out the ingredients. We'll let them know where to get these things. We'll share the recipes, and we cook along with 100 to 500 people a month. And it's very interactive. We're talking to them, we're engaging with them, we're teaching them. So there's education, there's entertainment, there's fun. We're doing a wine tasting with Gary in a couple of weeks where our members will be able to virtually come on with us. Again, in a very interactive way. We're shipping different wines to people. They get to taste along with us and learn from Gary. So it's digital events, physical events, an in real life club, and other forms of utility, collaborations, partnerships, merchandise. We're looking to build a whole community and a whole brand around this. And yes, I'm sure the next question is, we do plan on growing this. We plan on being in other like-minded, cool cities. But it all starts with executing New York first. And if we do our job well, and have the support of the community, we're going to go to some other awesome places and do the same thing.
But it does seem like you guys do travel around, even if New York right now is kind of your main base.
Yeah, we definitely go to other markets and whatnot, but New York's our home base. We opened up a omakase restaurant in Tribeca recently called Ito, with one of the best sushi masters, Masa Ito and Kevin Kim. So New York is our home. We're all from New York. But yeah, there's some other great markets that have awesome food and beverage, and we want to have exposure to that and do great things there. So we have plans to do that. We're talking to some great developers, but we have to be realistic, and it all starts with execution of the first Flyfish Club.
So what is the biggest obstacle right now? What is the
I think the biggest obstacle that we're experiencing, not obstacle, but most important decision, what is and was the real estate selection. This space has to be very special. It needs to match the excitement and innovation of the project and our ethos. It needs to be with one of the best developers in Manhattan. It needs to be of a certain scale. The building needs to be beautiful. There's a lot of things that we really want and we've envisioned, and we're very close to securing it, and we're going to be excited to share that very soon. So I just think that the magnitude of that decision is a very big one, and we didn't want to compromise. The community deserves something awesome, and we're, I don't know we're very particular. We've been doing this for a while, and we want a beautiful place. We want a beautiful building. We want it to be convenient. We want it to be special. We want people to feel like they're in the right place. And we'll do a lot of that through design and curating moments and great food and beverage and a team that's going to be hospitable and charming and nice. And, we'll design all those touch points and do what we do. But the space still needs to be epic and special, and the bones need to be different and feel great, and we want people to acknowledge that when they're there. So it's just been a very big decision. We launched before having the real estate secured, and some people thought that was crazy, but we felt very confident in it, and we're confident in ourselves, and we know that we're going to deliver on this. So there was never any debate or question or concern on, are we going to take advantage, or is this a rug pull like everybody talks about in the NFT land? There's none of that. We're here, we're operating, we're looking at real estate every single day. So we knew that we're going to deliver on our plans, and we think the people that are, buying into this and know us and know how we operate and have followed our careers, know about our reputations and know about our brands, and have seen that we're transparent, good guys that are going to deliver on our promises.
Mm-hmm. When are you guys looking to open? Cool. Why seafood specifically?
We're going to have a lot of different concepts in our hospitality career. Myself, Josh, Connor, we gravitate towards seafood. We love it. We just, we think right now there's just been a good rally behind, seafood, Mediterranean, Greek. People like eating clean. People, like sharing. We just, we love the way it makes you feel. We think it's a beautiful cuisine. Everything from sourcing these products from different parts of the world to, everything about it. We love seafood, we love sushi. And we just felt like that was a great first project for us, and the people that, are a part of Flyfish Club. We also believe that this is something that they're going to want. So we're just passionate about it.
Yeah.
How do you keep up on food trends? Go ahead.
How do we keep up on food trends? I mean,
how do you know people like fish right now?
I leave that. Listen, there's only so many ways to skin this cat, and there's only so many different, cuisines and concepts, and, talented chefs find ways to be creative and, take different things that they've seen through their travels and their careers and, manipulate them and do different things and, to create newer forms of that. But, there's only 10, 12 different cuisines, but there's how many different restaurants in the world. So you have to find, your niche and your perspective of what you're creating. So, Josh and Connor are just awesome chefs, and, they study this. They've been in it for, their entire lives. So, I'm trusting that my partners are gonna, nail what they do.
How
But
competitive?
like anything though, you watch trends,
Right.
you watch what's going well, merge that with your own passions and things that you're into, and then find your own interpretation of it.
I have to get the chefs on the pod to talk about food travels.
Would love to.
Are you a fan of InNOut Burger?
And anybody that's not a fan of InNOut Burger is not someone that I think is smart. I think InNOut Burger is one of the best restaurants in the country. I think their business model is unbelievable.
Which is what? Cheap food and low menu?
It's a quality product. It's a simple menu. They execute at a high level. It's extremely efficient. It's just, we were in Vegas a few weeks ago. And yeah, I mean, you hit it when you land, you hit it when, before you're taking off. It just, they do what they do and they do it very well. And it's kind of hard to not appreciate that level of execution. Things don't have to be fine dining or expensive dining for them to be good.
Yeah.
They just have to be executed well. And that can be done at any price point with any cuisine and any concept. So I think that they're the best, and obviously there's a Chick-fil-A and there's other great concepts that are, more fast casual or, QSR. And, I think InNOut Burger just, double animal style, it's really hard to not love every single bite. So yeah, I'm a big fan.
I don't think I could live in New York specifically because there's no InNOut.
I respect that. I respect that a lot. I mean, I wish they would come this way, but I don't think that that's happening anytime soon.
You could do a mock New York InNOut pop up.
You could, Capon is a burger champion. He's won the Burger Bash 7 times. He's very passionate about burgers and meat, same as Connor. So I do think that there'll be, some burger concept in our future.
Yeah.
But again, there's only one InNOut Burger, and they do what they do, and we'll find our own spin.
Are you guys envisioning? I'm thinking of trading cards, right? Looking at your pictures in the back, trading cards, and then you have a bunch of trading cards of like all the 10 to 12 cuisines.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we do what we do because we love food and beverage. I think every restaurateur or operator would love to have a portfolio of, complementary concepts and products that are enjoyable, and you could keep your community excited, so they don't have to keep going to other different people's restaurants. But if you had a portfolio of complementary products and you just keep them within your network, you could provide endless hospitality and just keep them in your system.
Ooh.
I think that that's very smart. You could always cater to them. Yeah. And we love eating all types of food. So why wouldn't we want to have an awesome Italian restaurant, an American restaurant, and a Japanese restaurant? And, we have big ambitions to, cross all concepts.
A restaurant moat, community built restaurant moat.
That's right.
Right on. You got a top 2 book recommendations?
Top 2 book recommendations. I don't read a lot of books. I'm going to confidently say, and I'm not just saying this, he's my partner, but all of Gary's books, I'm a consumer of Gary's content. So I've read all of them. So I would say pick up any one of Gary's, New York Times bestselling books. I think that those always hit home. I'm into podcasts more. I love Tim Ferriss. Again, I absorb all Gary's content. It resonates with me. I really don't have time to sit and read books. I wish I did. So I consume content in other ways.
Right on. Parting words for anybody? Words of wisdom? What would you do what would you say to your 20-year-old self now, perhaps? I don't know.
I think I'm learning about patience now. I'm 41. 40 to 41 was a transformational year for me, and I think I'm just starting to get in a moment that I'm starting to operate at the levels that I want to or thought that I could. And I think patience is important. Like, obviously you always want things quickly. But I'm first starting to get into my element. And I think patience is an important aspect. And, you know, all the things that bring you to where you are all a part of that journey. So enjoy that process. You know, and don't look back and be down on things. Like, it's all a part of, you know, where you are and what makes you who you are now. So, you know, use it, learn from it, go forward, but have a lot of patience.
Amazing, man. Anything we can do to help? Anything the audience can do to help out in any way?
Get involved in Flyfish Club. You know, I think what we're doing.
Discord, right?
Yeah, get involved in the Discord. Follow us on our Instagram, on our Twitter. I think we're thinking about things in a thoughtful way and in a different way. I think the industry needs some innovation. I think it's a very challenging industry, and it's comprised of really talented and, you know, beautiful people that really care about what they do. And just unfortunately, it's been hard on the industry and hard on operators and hard on chefs and hard on you know, managers and the whole system. It's been challenging. So I think some innovation around it is helpful. You know, learn about what we're doing and hopefully get involved in it. Follow Capon's content. He's producing a ton of, you know, free content on his Instagram. You know, that's a big part of VCR Group, is delivering, you know, this content and teaching people how to cook and, you know, try to make it not intimidating. So that's at Chef Capon on Instagram. And yeah, you know, I think that's it. Just, you know, try to get along our journey in some way, shape, or form. You don't have to buy a token, but, you know, take a minute to see what we're doing and, you know, reach out, you know, send us an email. We'll do our best to get back to you. And yeah, we appreciate all the support.
Awesome.
Cool. Thank you so much for your time. It was.
I appreciate you guys having me. Thanks again.
David Rodolitz, VCR Group, Flyfish Club, which is a little hard to say off the tongue.
Flyfish Club.
Appreciate it.
Club.
Thanks, guys. Take care.